Cricketune is filled with wild might. Aerial Ace. Hey guys, I'm Personality Free. Welcome back to another episode of Legends Arceus. I'm just having... Ooh, Cyndaquil can evolve. Firstly, I'm going to crack open the black tumblestones. And then we are going to evolve Cyndaquil. I get the feeling that's really loud. Congratulations, your Cyndaquil evolved into Quilava. Who is this? I have completely forgotten. Hopefully we don't need to fight. Oh, so even your professor decided to join us. Whew, thank goodness I got here in time. As a Pokemon researcher, I could hardly miss out on a chance to observe an alpha now, could I? I suppose that is your business. Fine, as long as you stay out of the way. My mouth is really dry. This is Deer Track Heights. This is where I've long come to pay tribute to a special Pokemon. A Pokemon descended from one of those ancients blessed by Almighty Sinnoh. That's not it. That's only a troublemaker here to disturb the peace with its racket. And that's what you're here for, Alistair, to drive that interloper from this place. I'll ensure your Pokemon are ready for battle. Ah, thanks, man. Upon my word, what a large specimen. Little wonder alpha Pokemon are feared across the land if they're all as oversized as this one. Exactly. They're not only big, though. They are strong and know moves that others of their kind do not. They're naught to be trifled with, let me tell you. Nevertheless, I believe you are stronger still than this alpha, so go show it that beyond any mistaking. I want to try and catch it. Be careful, Alistair. Size is a potential weapon in and of itself. No doubt this alpha is a powerful and hardy foe. If you must face it, make sure your Pokemon have some strong moves at their disposal. Alpha Pokemon are larger and may know moves that are rare for their species. They appear to be very difficult to catch. I need False Swipe then, maybe. You know what? I'll be right back. Beautiful. I have 10 heavy balls. I think I tried last time to try and like sneak up on it, but it didn't work. Level 12. Press the Y button during order of action. It shows the order in which based on their action speed. Action speed is speed of a Pokemon based on its speed stat. Can also be affected by certain moves and items. Okay. Cricketune is filled with wild might. All stats are boosted. Oh, okay. Spooky. Aerial Ace. Okay, I can survive one more. Let's try catch it. Please work. Nice. Well, that was easy. I caught the Cricketune. Oh, it's a hefty bit of EXP for everyone. Bro, I didn't even have to defeat it. You really are an impressive one, aren't you? Seeing someone best in Alpha like that, it truly reminds me of the legendary hero of old. We'd best make sure your Pokemon are taken care of after facing off such a foe. What in the world? Ooh. It's the great something deer. Wire deer? Wire deer? I don't know how to pronounce that. So judgmental. He looks upon you with kindness, Alistair. That's not kindness. I'd say the great Wire has taken a liking to you. That is fortunate. It's an esteemed Pokemon that can dash across the expanse of Hisui while bearing a human on its back. A human he deems worthy, at least. He is a blessing to us all. Remarkably, truly outstanding stuff. A Pokemon letting someone ride on it? Why, it's just like the ride Pokemon of Alola. Was that the previous generation? Professor Laventon, Alistair. Captain Silene sent me. She said that once Alistair carried out this request, we'd be able to set up a base camp. Ah, about that. I know this was a joint decision by Adaman and the commander, but still, is it truly fine for us to set up more base camps like this? The Hisui region is a land created by the almighty Sinnoh for the sake of its Pokemon. As long as your goal is to coexist and thrive together with the Pokemon, then I imagine you should also be allowed to use this land. The Great Wire has taken a liking to Alistair as well. This is a good sign. You have my thanks for what you did today. Our clan leader will hear of how you aided us. I'll come show you my appreciation with the proper reward as soon as I can. Mission complete. Nice. If we want to coexist and thrive with Pokemon, we'll need to stop fearing them and start getting to know them better. That starts with completing the Pokédex. Anyway, we should be able to have a base camp set up once the construction core arrives. Much animation. Here we have it, our new base camp upon Deer Track Heights. I'll call it the Heights Camp. Imaginative. From now on, when you set out from the village, you can ask to be escorted to the base camp to start your excursions directly from here. Having another base camp to start from will be a great help on our surveys. I nearly had to yawn there, that was a problem. Nice work today, everyone. What say we all head back to the Wallflower? Benny, old chum, the usual potato mochi, please, and make it for 3 today as well. He needs to learn to stand up straight. That would destroy his back. Have you all heard the grave news? The frenzied Cleaver from the rumours, it ended up mauling some of our Galaxy folks who went to investigate it this morning. The medical corps is having a hard time getting all the injured back on their feet. This is the Clever that was reportedly struck by powerful lightning, yes? I did hear he's been behaving most erratically since then. Still, if further investigation is in order, the Survey Corps will, of course, step up to the task. A certain amount of danger is inevitable when researching unfamiliar Pokemon, but I'm sure Alistair here can handle things just fine. Thanks, mate. Are you certain? I've heard Cleavor's so mighty, even Alpha Pokemon don't compare to him. Cleavor? I don't know. From now, you forget that the strengths of Pokemon are key items of information that we of the Survey Corps are duty-bound to research. Jeez, stop having so many words, I can't read it that well. And since this perilous work of ours calls for a clear head and fighting fit physique, I do believe a good night's sleep is in order after this fine meal. The next day. Good morning, Alistair. You should hurry to the commander's office before he decides to use you for sumo practice. Oh dear. Yeah, why don't we go? There you are. Let's hurry to the headquarters. Look who's being punctual. Finally realized you were wasting Almighty Sinnoh's precious time by bowing to a sham? Oh dear. There you go again, insisting on your false image of Almighty Sinnoh as a ruler of time. My people follow the true Almighty Sinnoh, the font of all creation and ruler of space. Ha! You could have all the space there is and still not know what to do with it. Excuse me, are you suggesting that you can make better use of your time than we make of vast history of space? Better than some, it's a miracle you showed up on time, O mighty leader of the Pearl Clan. I worried you'd get lost in the pointlessly vast space you're so fond of and never show up. Okay, me get lost? In Almighty Sinnoh's great gift to the Pearl Clan. In our world's very basics, you wish. I'm very confused now. I wish I hadn't let myself get dragged into arguing with you. Almighty Sinnoh, forgive me. What a waste of time. Off you go. I'm off to commando someone's office. I believe it was you who started this. It was! Man, like, I get it you don't like each other, but just chill out. You can feel the tension when those two show up. You haven't met them, have you? No, dude. You've been with me pretty much the whole time. The woman with the reverence of space is Irida, the leader of the Pearl Clan. The man who was going on and on about time, Adaman, leads the Diamond Clan. The Diamond Clan and the Pearl Clan grudgingly coexist at the moment. Apparently things used to be less peaceful. I was about to say more peaceful. But the boss, I mean the commander, is waiting. We should save this conversation for after you report to him. More talking. Oh boy. What do you intend to do about Cleve or Commander Kamado? He may be descended from a warrior of Almighty Sinnoh, but look at the mess he's causing. We can't sit back and let him rage on. You do get right to the point, Adaman. Time wasted is lost. Well, tell me, what would you have us do? Clever is a precious lord of the Pearl Clan, is he not? That's my point. My clan can't intervene directly where a lord of the Pearl Clan is concerned. If my people were to do something, our two clans might end up back at each other's throats, just like we used to be. But even folk of the Galaxy team have been wounded, haven't they? Seems someone's got to do something here. Who then? Would the Diamond Clan have the Pearl Clan bring down one of its own honourable nobles? I don't believe I said that. Thought it, maybe. You might as well have said it, you fool. Look, we don't even know what drove Lord Cleaver into such a violent frenzy. I'd like to know that myself. This is a first as far as my clan knows too. I see you've arrived. I've been here a while, mate. This is Alistair, our newest member of our survey corps. Aha! I hear from you've earned Wydeer's favour. Stop listing all the Pokemon that I don't know how to name. Good to finally meet you, stranger from the Rift. I'm Adaman, leader of the Diamond Clan, if you want to be so formal, but that's a mouthful. Just call me Adaman. If you came from beyond the space-time rift, could you be from the space where Almighty Sinnoh is said to reside? I'm Irida. Irida? I'm going to keep calling it Irida, because that's just the way I read it. Oh dear. Leader of the Pearl Clan, caution and foresight are my watchwords, which is why I have trouble believing such a tale. Could you really have passed through that rift? Apparently. I have a proposition. Why not send this one to study Cleaver before deciding what must be done. You'd send this stranger who supposedly fell from the rift to study Cleaver? This newcomer with no experience? Says the leader with almost no experience. Being a good leader isn't a matter of time, it's a matter of embracing Hisui's vastness without fear. Well then, there you have it. If how new you are doesn't matter, then let's give the kid his chance. I'm sold, Commander. Let's try it your way. See, I'm going to choose Irida because I played Pokemon Pearl, but I prefer Adamant because he's at least nice. This should be fun. I'll get to see how good your galaxy folk really are with all your weird ways, putting Pokemon in those strange balls and what have you. That whole practice bothers me. Almighty Sinnoh made Hisui vast so Pokemon could live freely throughout. We're meant to stand alongside Pokemon, not count ourselves above them. I mean, we do not use Pokeballs from a desire to control our Pokemon, only so that we can live together. Allow us to show you what we can do. This is your mission now, Alistair. I order you to study Cleaver and help us find the truth of this situation. I accept. Remember, you are a stranger who appeared one day out of the sky above us. People are naturally suspicious of your presence here. If you wish to be fully accepted and trusted, you must work hard. Work yourself to the very bone. A new mission. Frenzy of the Lord of the Woods. Too many of these. Well, that's settled. And there's no time like the present. The Lord of the Woods, Cleaver, is descended from a Pokemon that was blessed with Almighty Sinnoh's own power. No other Pokemon you've yet encountered can compare to his strength. Be warned. Listen to me. The Galaxy Exposition team has come to the Hisui region as a group of outsiders. Some might even call us interlopers. We mustn't do anything to threaten our relations with the Diamond and Pearl clans. Understood? Understand? I understand. Join me downstairs, Alistair. We'll cover the details of this new mission. They need to just let me play, man. Just signpost it, don't lecture. Yes, Silene? Ah, good, you're already here. Why were you just in the corner? Professor Laventon, the briefing, if you please. Yes, let's get right to it. So, Alistair, I understand you've been requested to find out the cause of Cleaver's frenzied state. But as you are aware by now, Cleaver is a mighty thing, nigh invincible even. The security corps tried throwing Pokeballs at Cleaver when they were attacked, but I'm afraid they didn't even come close to catching him. It seems he's a far trickier opponent than even those aggressive species of Pokemon that cannot be caught outside of battle once they're riled. That was a sentence and a half. I'd like to be perfectly clear on this point. This mission will put you in extreme danger. Do you believe you can handle it? Of course. I am the very best, like no one ever was. Very well. Then let us go over the particulars. The Diamond and Pearl clans revere their nobles because they believe these Pokemon serve their almighty Sinnoh. They leave offerings to express their gratitude to these Pokemon in locations that they call noble seats. So perhaps it's a good starting point for our research. Let's read that again. So perhaps a good starting point for our research could be to find out what sorts of offerings they normally leave for this Cleaver. Alistair, we need to speak with you. That was very dramatic. Listen, that rift in space-time seems like it connects this world to a whole other world. That world might be where Almighty Sinnoh itself resides. The true Almighty Sinnoh, that is. The one that rules over time. Righto. So if you fell through the space-time rift, that might mean you travelled through time by Almighty Sinnoh's power. Think of it. You must have just been swimming in its divine might. Well, I've got a favour to ask of you, oh amazing time traveller. Don't just study Cleaver, quell its frenzy. Well, you certainly caught us at a good time, young Adaman. We were just discussing the next steps with regards to this whole Cleaver situation. Oh, you must be the Galaxy Team scholar I've heard about. Good to meet you, Mr. Professor. Mr. Doctor. Share some of that knowledge with me sometime. Let me elaborate a little. Those Pearl clan types have a lot of respect for Cleaver. You've heard his title, Lord of the Woods. I'm sure they'd rather get this under control too, but it's hard for them to come right out and ask those Galaxy Team of all people for help. The truth is, we in the Diamond Clan have a similar problem on our hands. A Pokemon dear to us off in the mountains has flown into the same state of frenzy as Cleaver. Now there's certainly bad blood between us and the Pearl Clan, but still, we've all got to share history, and that means we ought to tackle our problems together. But there aren't many capable of standing up to such a powerful Pokemon. You're the best hope we've got. Why? You'll find Cleaver at Grand Tree Arena. It's in the very heart of the Heartwood. His warden is a boy named Leon. Leon is a brilliant child, but also a bit, well, sometimes brilliance can be blinding, you know? He'll tell you all about his beloved Cleaver, whether you wish him to or not. Anyway, I'm sure you're up for the challenge, so we'll be counting on you. See you later. Okay. He certainly left quickly once he finished talking. I suppose he really values his time. Adaman and Mai weren't wrong, you know. If you're to study and perhaps even quell Cleaver, you'd best start with visiting his abode. Our New Heights camp would be a handy place for setting out towards Grand Tree Arena. Pardon me, you should also stop by the pastures too. You'll be wanting to choose the best Pokemon to bring. Alright, and with that, I am going to leave this episode here, so thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!